that, there's been continued troubles in the Eurozone, and Italy's borrowing cost for 10-year notes is at 7%. To put that into perspective, Germany, another very large European economy, is borrowing at a meager 2.5% for 10 years. So that's a huge spread between the two countries, and sort of shows how little faith the market's having in Italy's economy right now. Also, on sort of a more US-centric, also sort of relating to our Apple investment, Amazon's Kindle Fire is set to be released to the public on Saturday. And the first reviews are in. It is not a $500 device. It occasionally has a little bit of slowness, but overall people said it was a really cool gadget and definitely worth the $200. So that's going to be something to consider when we look at Apple and how we expect it to grow. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Any other big, yes, Mark?
Sorry, about the Kindle. Do you know, did you just say what major milestone you broke today as far as pre-orders go?
A lot.
Yeah.
10 million?
Well,
I guess.
yeah, well yeah, it was over 1 million.
Oh, they broke 1 million pre-orders?
They broke 1 million pre-orders, which is kind of amazing for like a non-Apple product these days. And this is, it's true. And this is another, like, a huge, just kind of point in the direction that tablets are becoming a big deal. And I don't know, we're going to have to see what it's going to say about Apple and their kind of dominance over the tablet industry.
Yeah, so developing story there. Any other news in the last week that people thought was really significant? There were a couple other things that we could talk about, if anybody wants or knows. Okay. I'll hand it off to Forrest for the portfolio.
They got the guys out of Occupy Wall Street today.
Okay.
They let them back in.
So they wanted to clean up Zuccotti Park, basically. Since Occupy Wall Street had sort of been hanging around and making a mess of the park, New York police kicked the Occupy Wall Streeters out of the park so they could clean it up, and now they're letting them back in. So,
but they don't have their tents in.
Right, they don't have their tents anymore.
And it's winter soon.
That'll get them back in the office. All right, now the portfolio review from Forrest.
It is a mess there. I was there just a while ago. All right. So, portfolio overview for the week. Not too much going on, except for Arcelor taking a pretty big dip over the last couple of days. Mostly around global fears that Harvey's touched on already, which obviously Arcelor and Rio Tinto are going to be pretty correlated with the overall fears in the commodity markets going on. And in this particular instance, Arcelor took a pretty big hit as a result. Also, a couple of weeks ago, they released their earnings, which disappointed, and their projections for the mining numbers for the next couple of weeks also disappointed. So, not a great sign for them. However, the rest of the portfolio is pretty robust. Anybody have anything to share? Yeah.
I was going to say, is there a reason that IBM isn't significantly higher? Not because you think like consumer interest in it would skyrocket when Warren Buffett gets in it, but even like Warren Buffett's $11 billion investment in itself, you think would be enough to kind of spike it, right?
Yeah. So if Warren Buffett invested $11 billion all at once, you'd expect a pretty big jump in the price, given that IBM market cap's around $200 billion. So 10 billion would be about 5% of the company. You'd expect at least a 5% gain in the stock price. However, it's not true that Warren Buffett. Well, does anyone know why that didn't happen?
Yeah, it's not all like purchased in a day. It's done over the course of several weeks, and it was actually like bought in at like 170, and I believe the stock price is at like 189 now.
Yeah, so he's been doing it actually this entire year.
Yeah.
He's been slowly but surely accumulating IBM shares. Obviously, when Buffett makes a $10 billion move, can't make it all in one big block trade, so he's got to do it over time. And he uses some loopholes that he has while he's at the SEC to keep his trades private so that nobody knows what he's investing in. And so then it comes out a couple months later, hey, Warren Buffett actually now owns $10 billion worth of IBM, although he's been accumulating it at the same time that we have. All right. Yeah?
Kohl's reported their earnings, profits were up 20%, that's why the big spike in the green line.
Kohl's?
Yeah, reported their earnings.
Today?
No,
right here.
Oh, okay. Right here. on last Thursday. So that's why there's a big spike right there. All right? Anybody else? Okay.